Shelley Marriott, and I'm a spiritual director affiliated with Ignatius House, a Jesuit retreat center in Atlanta, Georgia. Today's passage from Paul's letter to the Ephesians is one of my favorites. Paul does a brilliant job of comparing our spiritual armor to that of the Roman soldier's armor. And I find a lot of comfort in reading this passage because Paul tells us exactly how to be prepared for whatever spiritual battles we may encounter every day. So it's really impossible to read this passage and not be reminded of the mayhem going on in our world today. I mean, it's so easy to get distracted and to give in to temptations and to become anxious. And maybe we engage in some thoughts and behaviors and practices that take us away from God. But the truth is that perseverance and stamina are needed to follow Christ. And this metaphorical armor of God provides that necessary support. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can apply this passage to your daily life, but here I want to focus on how this passage helps me personally with my own foundation of peace. So I know for myself that when I feel at peace and when my foundation is strong, that I'm able to stand firm for longer periods of time. So what did Jesus tell us about peace? He says, "My peace I give to you." And throughout his ministry, he preached peace to us through the gospel. So our position in Christ is one of peace. But I know for me, my state of mind isn't always in a state of peace. One of the easiest ways that the evil one renders me helpless is to steal my peace, which leaves me worried and doubtful and afraid. And when I become worried about a situation, so often I can only think about myself and my circumstances and how I'm going to solve the problem. I'm not letting God drive the bus here. And instead, I'm stuck in this maze of what ifs and if onlys. And just like that, my spiritual enemy has captured my complete attention. But St. Paul, being so wise, has gone into great detail to give me a gospel-filled antidote to my troubled heart. He says all I need to do is put on the full armor of God. And when I do that, I might still have a lot to pray about, but I should have nothing to worry about. Now, in this passage by Rachel Held Evans, she gives us a really thoughtful reflection on the many temptations and distractions that our spiritual enemies have put in our path. She says that the gospel is buried under a massive pile of extras, so much so that even Jesus himself seems buried under the rubble. So what she's saying here is that we no longer see peace-filled believers sharing the gospel. Instead, we're living scared and we're living distracted. And there seems to be more concern with our physical health and political correctness than there is with our spiritual destiny. So Rachel Held Evans is asking us to take a look at our primary concerns. Do they have anything to do with the gospel? And where is Jesus? And as much as it would be really nice to see a resurrection of God-centered leadership, the only true and life-changing answer to our problem is Jesus. And if he's buried beneath that rubble, it's really difficult to resist that massive pile of extras that she talks about. Now, I know there's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and peace sometimes feels really far away. But our gospel-made armor is always in style, and we should be getting up every morning and putting on that full armor. Because just imagine what a joy it is to live in peace with God, even amidst the chaos of our lives. So this week, read the passage and reflect on it and think of an unwanted spiritual encounter or a time when you felt a force working against you. And think of how you responded to the situation. Maybe there's something going on in your life right now that's stealing your peace. How can you respond to it? And how can you stand strong? Try fitting yourself with the armor of God and notice if anything changes in your life. And finally, take some time to pray about it. Paul ends his letter to the Ephesians by asking us to pray. So pray for the strength to stand firm and pray for others to stand firm. And remember that despite the hostile battlefield here on earth, this world is not our home.